Okay, let's dive right in. When I say Niagara Falls, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's that iconic image, right? A massive, thundering wall of water. It's one of the most famous natural wonders on the entire planet.
And hey, for good reason. I mean, the sheer power, the beauty of it, it's absolutely breathtaking. Millions of people flock here every single year just to see it, making it this global must-see destination.
But here's the thing. We're going to look at what happens when you turn away from the water and look at the community that lives right there, in its shadow. Because just beyond this majestic view, there's a totally different story going on, one of struggle, of innovation, and ultimately, of rebirth.
Yeah, for decades, while millions of tourists were just staring mouths agape at the falls, the city of Niagara Falls, New York, was facing this deep, profound economic crisis, a story that was kind of hidden in plain sight.
The city of Niagara Falls fits the bill perfectly for what experts call a legacy city. See, it used to be an industrial powerhouse, but like a lot of industrial towns in the 20th century, it went through this massive decline. Jobs just vanished, people left, and the community's resources totally dwindled.
And you know, the numbers, wow, they really lay it all out there. Between 2000 and 2019, get this, while the poverty rate for all of New York State actually went down a bit, in the city of Niagara Falls, it just skyrocketed to nearly 30%. That is a huge difference, not just from the state, but even from the county around it. It really shows you how this was a super localized crisis.
So you've got this deepening crisis. What do? Well, a new idea started to take root. People started thinking, hey, what if the region's rich history, all these stories that happen right along the river, what if that could be the key to our future? And that thinking led to a whole new kind of partnership.
In 2008, Congress designated the region as a National Heritage Area. So what on earth is that? Well, it's not a national park, and that's the key thing to get. It's a partnership where the local communities actually take the lead in preserving their own history and culture, and they just get some help, technical and financial, from the National Park Service. Okay, so let's break this down, because it's really important. A national park, you know the deal, the federal government owns the land, they run the whole show. But a National Heritage Area? Totally different ballgame. It is community-driven. The land stays in local hands, and the whole focus is on what they call lived-in landscapes. You know, the actual places where people are living, working, and building their lives. So for Niagara Falls, the National Heritage Area covers this 13-mile stretch right along the American side of the river. It's not just the city of Niagara Falls. It also includes these cool historic villages like Lewiston and Youngstown, running all the way up to Old Fort Niagara, right there on Lake Ontario. But how did this new designation actually help? Well, the biggest challenge wasn't just about money. It was fragmentation. You had all these different towns, historical groups, and community organizations all kind of working in their own little bubbles. The Heritage Area's main mission became connecting all of them. Their main strategy was honestly brilliantly simple. Just build a network. They basically said, we're going to be the hub. We're going to be the central connector for everyone. Local governments, historical societies, museums, businesses, you name it, and get them all working together on the same team. And did it work? Oh yeah. Just look at this chart. Their success in building that network was, well, it was dramatic. The number of partners just exploded, especially after 2013. That's when the management switched from a federal commission to a local nonprofit. That one move was crucial because it let them build this powerful ground-up coalition for revitalizing the whole region. And this powerful new coalition, it produced real, tangible results. And I'm talking stuff you can see and touch. Take the Discover Niagara shuttle. There's no way that could exist without dozens of different sites, hotels, and towns all agreeing to work together and fund it. Or the incredible Underground Railroad Heritage Center. That took a deep partnership with the local community to finally bring that vital, long-overdue story to light. See, these weren't just small projects. They were game changers. And they were totally impossible without that central network holding it all together. So the big question, did this whole community-led thing actually work? Well, let's just say the numbers speak for themselves. $8.2 million in non-federal funding. Now that's huge. What it means is for every federal dollar they got, they were able to attract a bunch more from state, local, and private sources. That's a massive injection of new investment into the community. They built a network of over 50 core partners. I mean, think about that. That's more than 50 organizations that used to be disconnected, maybe even competing, now all pulling in the same direction, sharing resources and know-how. And this one really hits home.
Their work led to the opening of the Underground Railroad Heritage Center. And get this, it was the first new major cultural attraction to open in the entire region in nearly 4 decades. 37 years. That's not just a new building. That's a symbol of real, honest-to-goodness renewal.
Look, what happened at Niagara, it isn't just a feel-good local story. It's really a blueprint. It's a model for how other legacy cities can find new life by digging into their own unique history. By bringing history to life, whether it's through these reenactors at Old Fort Niagara or by opening new museums to tell stories we'd almost forgotten, the heritage area did something more than just build tourist attractions. It helped the community reconnect with its own identity. It helped them build a sense of shared pride.
And don't just take my word for it. In 2021, the National Park Service did a formal evaluation, and their conclusion was powerful. They called the Niagara Falls National Heritage Area a vital community asset that has contributed enormously to a region that had been struggling for so long.
The story of Niagara really shows us that a community's greatest asset isn't always the most obvious one. Sometimes, the key to building a better future lies in uncovering, celebrating, and connecting the stories of its past. And that really leaves us with the question, for all of us, how can we do the same exact thing right where we live?